Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to Let's Discuss, where we just discuss anything that's going on in the YouTube mums, in the family vlogger kind of area. Now, oh my gosh, okay, so I've actually talked about the Dad Challenge podcast before, and I want to kind of preface this by saying that some of my audience, obviously like a bulk load, are going to be coming over from him. That's totally fine. You do you can watch whoever you want. I've made a video in the past saying that I don't agree with the way that he approaches some things, the way that he talks about people, that kind of thing, and also the way that he doxes people. I've made a video on it before, so I'll leave it linked up here. So what basically sparked this video is the fact that I discussed it a little bit in my past video about Maia Knight and how he targets her. Now, I'm not saying there's anything the matter with having someone that you prefer to talk about. I like talking about the Skinny Julies quite a lot because I know a lot about them. I follow them. My audience likes hearing about them. It is the way it is. And in some sort of a weird parasocial way, it keeps the hype up about them. You know, it's a bit of a two-way street. I get it. The way that he talks, and I've talked about this before, the way that he talks about women and some women, I find really hard to listen to. And yeah, I used to be a fan of his. I used to comment on a few of his videos until I started noticing they had a bit of a weird edge. And yeah, I've explained this all before. This isn't me coming at him. I'm well aware that I've read a few comments on other people's community posts basically saying that why can't you guys, because I know it's not just me, there are other people sort of within the commentary community. I'm like really new to it, but there are other people in the commentary community who also speak up about not really liking him, and there's a lot of overwhelming response that, well, we should all try and get along because we're all trying to get along the same cause of stopping child exploitation, or something a bit like that. Even if it's not to do with that, we're all sort of banded in the same niche. If I go on who my audience watches, for instance, Dad Challenge podcast is like the #1, so I'm aware this is extremely divisive, but this is about one singular person that I didn't realise just how badly he spoke about this person until I actually went and I looked at some of his back catalogue of just what he's been saying about Maia Knight.
Because she's a failure as a person, right? She doesn't have jobs. She went to college, she got pregnant, and then I guess I don't know the entire story. We're going to follow it. It's kind of like a Micah situation.
How it's starting. I've noticed some discrepancies. The reason why I've even come up with this video is the fact that I had a knee-jerk reaction. I had a very he says some really horrible things about this person without even knowing who she is, and I am an example of, I don't follow her. I know what she looks like, I roughly know what she does, but I don't know her ins and outs, so I'm sure there's going to be people here going like, oh, well, you don't really know anything about her either, so why are you commenting? And it's because I don't believe you should ever talk to another human being like that, especially if you do not know who they are. Incredibly rude. I make commentary on other people. If you watch any of my videos, I never demean them, throw out insults at somebody. I will talk about their behaviour. You never see me comment on what they look like, what they're wearing. Them as a person, I don't do it. I think it's so out of order. I would hate it if someone did that to me, so I don't do it to other people. I comment on their actions. The reason why it's a Skinny Julies video, I talk about them so much, is because, you know, there's so much to talk about, but the fact that he's targeting this one person, and we're going to get into it, I will talk about why I think he is bullying Maia Knight. I think this is bullying. I don't need to know everything about her to know that it's bullying. I read even his comment section on some of his past videos on her. It doesn't matter, like, these are some of the people who actually are going against what he's saying aren't even fans of her. They even admit that. They say, I've always liked you, but this is crossing a line. Because I actually struggle to get even a couple minutes into some of those videos because they are so disgusting. The words he's using, and his moderators can come after me all they want. If this video gets popular and his mods start coming after me going like, oh, we need to it, like, I don't care. Like, you can't talk to people like that. It's so rude. So we're going to get into it. My point #1. So what actually, I talked about how he addressed the Maia Knight situation with him even talking about her in my last video. I said that I didn't appreciate how he didn't really know who she was, yet strung together this like 12-minute compilation video of her being a neglectful a neglectful mother by drinking and stuff. And my original point, I'm just going to leave the clip here because I don't want to have to explain it again.
There's two different situations that I think could be true. Number one is that she like does have problems with dependency issues on alcohol and that sort of stuff, in which case making a video like that is actually more harmful than good, and that is doing the complete opposite of what you want to achieve. They're not going to get help for that if you start belittling them and making compilation videos about their habits. Number two, actually like doesn't really do any of that stuff. They're taken extremely out of context and they're clips taken from months all apart from each other, that you've then thrown into a compilation. Anyone can make a compilation about anything and assume that that person then has a problem.
So that was my point about ever mentioning Maia Knight from the very beginning. And I thought that, yeah, I thought that that would have been extremely harmful, but I hadn't really looked into any of his other videos done on Maia Knight. That was the only one that ever stood out to me, because by this point, what, 2 months ago, I'd already lost interest in him. I wasn't a regular watcher. The whole thing is just him sort of gloating about the fact that she's gone and also speculating about her baby daddy.
So today we're talking about her baby daddy.
And the funny thing is, he was actually in the comment section when a fan of his pointed out that we shouldn't really be speculating because they are nothing to do with YouTube. He said something along the lines of, well, I wasn't telling people to do it. I don't know. I'll leave the comment up here if I can find it. But then in the video, he doesn't tell people not to do it. What does he say? He says, be careful.
And I gotta let you guys know that without confirmation, those of you who are not in support of Maia, who are trying to out this baby daddy, could you just be really, really careful?
He's started up this drum of speculation. Whether or not he wants to admit it or not, he has started up a drum of speculation.
So she's not some young teen mom, okay? Maia Knight made the choice to be a party animal and to be promiscuous, which is her choice as an adult.
Okay, so here is someone basically saying that you called her an SLUT, and then over here he says that he didn't call her that, but he kind of did. He called her promiscuous.
About these babies' fathers who aren't, it's not even vaguely relevant. And the problem is with him is it's not the very first time. He has people that do his dirty work for him.
I just want to say that even if Maia Knight discusses the baby daddy, she, like, that is her own thing. That doesn't then give Josh or anyone else to speculate or try and find out who they are. Like, it's so bizarre and creepy. He wouldn't like that if someone was doing that about his family, so why is he doing it about someone else? Like, don't go real life. It's just so bizarre. This person who made this post is 110% right. What would happen if the guy was extremely young and was scared and now has run off? Like, you just don't know the circumstances. You do not know this other person. They have no social media presence, so just back off. I just do not understand it.
Basically go on and they find all this information about. He's never going to stop it. I just think it's insane. And I said this in the last video. This is what he does. He drums up hype and then gets everyone all angry, and then they then just go literally like rabid dogs, just like descend. I'm not saying they are, this is their actions. They descend upon these people. They find out all sorts of stuff. Why are we speculating over something like that? Why is it important? It's not important. He never says don't do it. He says, if you're going to do it, be careful, or something along those lines. I'll leave the clip up here. His channel might be big, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he should be taking longer to review a new person.
Their content. My benchmark for covering somebody is this. Do you exploit your children for money? Can I prove it? That's it.
So what I found ultra crazy about that, his last video, if you go back to one of his very first videos he ever did about Maia Knight, which is actually what drove me to make this video because I was disgusted by what I heard. He basically was saying we're going to be discussing this new person. He called her bearing in mind, he even said, I don't really know a lot about her.
That's how I do it on this channel, everybody. I don't know everything about her. She's kind of trashy.
He said she's trashy. He said that she was a failure of a person because she went to college and she got pregnant. Can we let that just sink in for a minute? And I think the reason why he has these really strong thoughts, he was religious, wasn't he? He was like a preacher. He like worked high up in the church and whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a Christian, so I don't really know a lot about it. My family are, I'm not. I'm sure that'll be one of the things he hates about me. But that is disgusting. You do not, literally within the very first 2 minutes of the video, saying she's a failure because She got pregnant at college. I got pregnant when I was doing my degree. Does that make me a failure? I can't swear. Disgusting. You cannot say that about people, especially in the same breath saying that he doesn't even know. He also goes on in that exact same video, literally right after he said she was a failure of a person, basically saying that oh yeah, she's a failure person because she also likes to drink as well, because up until this point we had zero, like, I'm not saying that she's not anything because I don't watch her content, I'm just saying that it doesn't matter who you are, you can't speak to people like that, that her content is garbage, all this kind of stuff. After not watching any of her content, he even admitted that, and he then also goes on to say that
She does TikToks about their baby daddy. Like, where's the one? It's like, where was it? I just saw it. Me explaining that the baby daddy made the decision to not be involved, and then somebody complaining, people commenting and saying that I'm depriving my kids of a father. Well, here's what you're depriving your kids of, Maya. Privacy. That's all. I don't care about your situation with baby daddy. If that dad decided to step out and not take care of, he's an asshole.
So today we're talking about her baby daddy.
He also goes on to say that that, you know, how come people are speculating over who the baby daddy is? It doesn't really matter. We shouldn't be doxing people, basically. That's what he's saying. You changed your tune pretty bloody quickly when the well runs dry and there's zero, like he literally changes his opinion like that, and it's absolutely sick. Then this was 2 months ago, and I watched that video and I was just sat there thinking, you cannot say that about people. That is just so unbelievably disgusting, and I couldn't believe that that's even allowed to say online. The other point is that in his recent video he was saying, oh, you need to be careful about Maia Knight's fans because they're all trolls and they're all come and get you.
So Maia Knight gets away with being this person, and if you ever dare to go into Maia Knight's argument section, I know it's comment section, but if you ever dare to say something that's not on board or 100% with everything about that, her fans will attack you, and that's going to be a big basis of today's conversation about her crazy fans. Look, at this point, the amount of videos and things I do on Maia Knight isn't really about Maya. It's about her fans. Her insanely rabid, foaming at the mouth fans.
And they just start and it's like, has he ever been in his comment section, or he has people that will literally defend him and defend him and defend him. He doesn't like the fact that other people are popular and they also have people, like, they also have an audience that will defend them. Yes, exploiting your children isn't fun, isn't great. That's not fun. We can all agree on that, but the point is that you cannot talk to people like that because it is absolutely disgusting. I couldn't actually believe what I was hearing. I was like, you have no decorum. You literally have zero decorum. You cannot talk to people like that, and it makes me irate because he's talking about, he also gets everything wrong as well. I was reading the comment section because, bearing in mind, I don't know a lot about her. He says that she's a teen mum. She's not. She's actually my age. She's 25. Says that she's like a dropout. Apparently she's not. She's got a degree in biology. I've got a degree in sports science. I'm already sensing a bit of similarity. Maybe that's the reason why I get a bit irate when I hear people who don't know who other people are just being mean. And this was 2 months ago. Like, at least if I make commentary on the Saucony Jolies and that, I've got years worth of experience of watching these people, like freaking years, about 6 years worth. So I feel like I can get a well-rounded view and I don't degrade the people that I watch. Just comment on what they're actually doing. This person, he doesn't even really review the content. Like, I just don't get it. And yeah, it's all coming out like a good cause, but is it really when your message is that toxic? Is that a good cause? I just don't really think so. I haven't obviously I'm not going to go and watch every single Maia Knight video whoever does, which is maybe a little bit hypocritical, but I think it's bullying at that point. If you're, yeah, fair enough, if you're commenting on someone's journey and if there's a developing thing, yeah, that's fair enough, you're commenting on the events, but he doesn't do that. He sits there and degrades people, usually women, which isn't a very good look for him, usually degrades the women he's talking about, degrades what they're doing, like all of this kind of stuff, usually without any form of context, and then tries to get other people to believe it as well. And I'm sorry, it just reminds me, like, it just feels like to me this like preachery guy just standing at his bloody altar, just like going, like preaching to people, getting them to think a certain way. sorry, I'm not religious. That is the way that I think of it. And it's weird. And I used to be suckered into it. And I like to think that I'm quite a good judge of character. And there's something off about him. I didn't like that at all. And I didn't realise just how bad it actually was until I went and watched some of his videos on Maia Knight. I think it's disgusting. No matter what she's been doing, you shouldn't talk about people like that. It's not very nice. Is that there's going to be people that will watch this and say, oh, well, you're just jealous. Why are you going after people that are sort of within the same thing? Like, we like you, but we also like him. You know, like, it's not a jealousy thing. It's just that if you see something that is really horrible, like anyone else that I cover, I talk about it. It just so happens that this person is basically annoyingly the poster person for stopping child exploitation on social media, apparently. And like, yeah, his message was good to begin with, and I've talked about this in the past, but it has got lost. It's got so lost. And you know what? I'm probably like 1 out of 7 other people, probably more, that are saying this. Some people aren't even bloody within the same niche. Some people aren't even within this niche, and they're still saying it. It comes to a point where it breaks down the people who are trying to see the good in what he's doing. And if it starts breaking us down, it's going to start breaking everyone else down. And I know I've chatted to a few people that are and were fans of his, and even then they say, oh, his commentary is not for everyone. It's like, no, his commentary, if you're into hurtful, like, some of his commentary is absolutely fine because I used to watch it, but recently, and some of his content is spiteful, it's hurtful, it upsets people, he demoralizes people, he degrades people, and he does it on the throne of knowing that he is at the top of this niche. He knows that. So because he knows that, he feels like he can get away with everything. And like, I'm sorry if like I'm gonna let people down by saying that I don't agree with the way that he approaches things. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I've got to remain true to myself as a person, as like Amy, like my own morals. And I'm gonna say I don't like it. I just think it's a horrible way of approaching things. And this video has been so ranty, but it's because I literally just finished watching his video, and I just don't like it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Not every single video I do is like this ranty, but I just had to get it off my chest. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.